Hey, what's up? How you doing? I hope you're doing great. Today's video is inspired by not only a subscriber, but a really good friend of mine, Bluefair. First of all, thank you for sharing your thoughts and asking this. I think a lot of people can relate to your situation. He basically explains that he struggles to motivate himself a lot, that there's days that he can push through, but there's others where it just feels impossible to even move. So he asks, what drives you? And how do you think people should push themselves to be better versions of themselves? And that's a deep one, because motivation is something that we all struggle with at some point. Some days, you just wake up like you can take the world. Other days, it's literally like you say, it's impossible to even move. And when you are in that state, when everything feels heavy, sometimes you just start wondering, what's even the point? So what drives me? Man, that's a tough one. Not because I don't have an answer, but because my answer isn't just one thing. It's everything. And I'll try to explain it as good as I can, because I don't know if it's gonna make sense. What really drives me is the fact that I have control. Okay? The fact that I can get to make choices that shape my future. That's something I try to remind myself every single day. Every little decision I make, whether it's big like choosing a career path or small like deciding to get up and go for a walk, it all shapes my life. That's kind of a wild thing to think about, right? The idea that my future isn't set in stone. If I want something, I can work for it. If I wanted to change something, I can do it. I have the power to do that. If I wanted to buy a car, I could save up and get one. If I wanted to learn a new skill, I could start today. If I wanted to talk about a topic to help people out, I could make a video. And that's something that I love doing, helping people out. But I think you kinda get the point, right? Even something as simple as, am I hungry? Yeah, well, okay, let's go eat. I have that power. And for a long time, I think I forgot that. I was just existing, just letting life happen to me instead of actually living it. It's like I was an autopilot, going through the motions without really thinking about where I was just headed. But one day I just woke up and realized, this is my life. This is it. There's no do-overs. There's no second chances. And that realization, I think that's what drives me a lot. Because I don't want to just exist. I don't want to just be here waiting for life to happen. I want to actually live. I want to look back at my life and feel like I chose the path that I walked, you know? Not like I just stumbled into it. I want to feel like I did things that mattered to me, to the people around me, and in some way to the world. But let me be real with you. Motivation isn't always there. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. We think we have to feel motivated to do things. But here's the truth. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. No one wakes up every single day feeling inspired and ready to take the world. That's not how it works. So, what do you do when motivation fades? Well, that's where what I like to call pillars comes in. I think everyone needs something to lean on when they're struggling to move forward. For me, my pillars are music, family, hobbies, and friends. These are the things that bring me back to life when I feel like I'm losing momentum. These are the things that remind me why I keep going, even on days where I just don't feel like it. Think about it like this. Imagine if you're walking through a dark tunnel, and your motivation is like a flashlight. Sometimes that light is strong, and you can see everything clearly. Other times, it starts to flicker, and you can barely see where you're going. That's when your pillars step in. They're like, the little glow-in-the-dark markers on the walls, guiding you forward even when your flashlight isn't working. They remind you that you do have things to keep going, that you do have things that matter. That's why I think everyone should have the time to figure out what their pillars are. What are the things that make you feel alive? What are the things that make you feel like yourself when you're struggling? Because when motivation runs out, those are the things that are going to keep you moving. Now, how do we become better versions of ourselves? That's also a tricky one because, truthfully, there's no universal answer. There's no one-size-fits-all guide to self-improvement. But if I have to say one thing, I would probably say, get to know yourself. A lot of people chase self-improvement for the wrong reasons, okay? Most likely on what other people tell us we should be, you know? They think they have to be more productive, more successful, more of this, more of that. But at the end of the day, what do you actually want? I think becoming a better version of yourself isn't about forcing yourself into some ideal that society expects or just created. It's about becoming the person that you feel proud to be. And that starts with listening to yourself, understanding your values, figuring out what actually makes you feel fulfilled, instead of just doing what you think you're supposed to do. And I get it, don't worry. That's not always easy. Sometimes we just don't even know what we want. Sometimes life is just a blurry mess, and we're just trying to get through the day. And that's okay, because self-improvement isn't the race, you know? It has its ups and downs. It's not about being perfect, it's about learning and growing and making small changes that add up over time. So if you're struggling with motivation, if you're feeling stuck, just start small. Take a deep breath, find the things that make you feel alive, and lean on them. And remind yourself that you are the one in control. You get to shape your life. You get to decide where you go from here. And man, I feel like I could go on forever. But I'll leave it at this, okay? Motivation comes and goes. But what really matters is how you choose to move forward. Even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. But also remember to take a break, okay? It's okay to take a break sometimes. So now, after hearing all of this, I want to ask you, what drives you? What keeps you going when motivation runs low? Think about it. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Hopefully.